And so for me, it is communication and also being ourselves. Because ikona lando qonba okanene if ndandibe nawe size 32 so I must maintain la size 32 because obviously I'm not now. So some things can be cosmetic, some along the way, but I think mostly it is communication and being open and just evolving as we grow and wanting to know where the relationship is going, and obviously there's kids involved, our parenting styles and so forth, like how do you work together in order to reach that common ground, because you can't expect someone to be the only one that's fetching kids. Are you helping out with other things in the house and so forth? So for me, I think it is more of a teamwork that has sustained us up until now. Well, that's my observation. That's the conclusion that I came up with when I was doing my reflection over this weekend.
Wow. I think, Spokie, what you're saying is it's quite important to have there's no formula in any sort of setup as far as relationships are concerned, and I think it really depends on how the two of you, like you're saying, communication, work it out. Interestingly enough, yesterday we went to a couple's sort of picnic. You saw on which was interesting. Then we were asked to kind of speak about 4 things that kind of and how we work around those things. The first one was the physical, because the topic was about being naked or nakedness. And nakedness, not in the sense of just being naked, but transparency. So yes, the first part of nakedness is the physical nakedness, because we used the scriptures, Adam no Eve, they were naked and unashamed. So, and then we spoke about that, and then the other part of nakedness, emotional and mental, where you are able to actually open up to your partner about whatever it is that you're going through in your life, which is something, guys, that is not always easy to do, but it's part of what needs to happen in order for the relationship to work. And then the other one was financial nakedness.
Yes.
And there was a part where actually, the guys were discussing that. And then they were saying people must bring their imali pay slips back up, and then you budget on the overall. And there's a realization as well that may not always work for all families. But at least there must be transparency, where you can then say, okay, and this is what we're going to do about this one. And then the other part was then spiritual sort of nakedness, which of course, informs spirituality in general, that, how you then interact as a family. But sometimes in abanye abantu bayiphelelisa apho kuthi siyakhonza, and then that's it. There is no interaction between the two of us as a people, ukuthi efondeni umqubo yethu ye spirituality ithini. So which I think is also very important, because sometimes the idea of just going to church and then come back kungathandazwa endlini, so abantwana bayazi babayela nona ecaweni, abaforsa nje masambisene ecaweni, and iphelele pha. So the two, so I think that also is a very important aspect that kind of speaks to the idea of how then you sustain and all of these, of course, Spokie is for they are actually brought together by communication, as you said earlier on, because communication is key. You there's nothing that happens outside of communication. Anikotishelani hapa nikotishelba hey ubani ngokunobukile meko okanye watini. There has to be actual communication. So I think that's one of the things for me, in my view, that kind of sustains relationships, is being able to actually have some form of communication and understanding in a relationship for it to actually work. But we don't know what you guys think. So whatever you guys think, put it out there and talk to us about this important subject. What sustains your relationship and or your marriage, you know. Talk to us. It's a month of love, and you could be now a restaurant. Some people, that could be how they actually, you know, they keep the spark, you know. Because nyange xa kusandodityana bethuna kumnandi, nothing stops. Yonke into kumnandi, but kuhambe kubekho ithuba where uqonda uba no man, ayifandeni man, you can't expect me to actually do the very same what, you know. But it also, I think the consciousness and realization about, hey, no, we need to do something, otherwise ngohlobo siqhuba ngalo asizuya ndawo. Yeah. But what made you think of this?
So you're gonna throw it back at me?
Yeah.
No, but like, I don't know. I think it was just a random thought, and I got a chocolate yesterday.
Oh.
So yes, and it kind of triggered my thought process. To be honest, yeah, I was like,
chocolate after a very long time, because the chocolate is
I actually had like a stack of chocolate.
Very strange.
Yeah, I think also what made me reflect is that it's how we kind of move from the, not like, I wouldn't say we're not still in the supposed honeymoon stage, but how we factored in you know, other departments in our lives, because you can't be focusing on the two of you only when you know that there's other factors that are contributing, you know, in the relationship. So so basically that's what triggered my thought process. But actually we are not where we used to be. Yeah, but because things change, and obviously you have to evolve. If your partner says, kunzinyana this month, I can't be angry, because now it's going to be my turn next month or in the next couple of months. So those are the things, because we can't be living in a bubble, you know, because I think the first 3 to 6 months, a bubble is like your core, like everything is in that bubble. So for me, I just feel that so basically my answer is it was triggered by that chocolate, and it kind of took me through memory lane and to look on how far we've come up until now, and the things that we went through and the changes that came with those things. And
guys, you are listening to
also when you talk about financial transparency, so those are the things I was also thinking about, that, you know, because you kind of have a certain perception, not because you like Nzotina, it's not what you wish or what you think is happening, but as a news, you kind of block them away. But okay, there'll always be chocolates, there'll always be flowers, but financial you know, implications
of those things.
But as you go, you kind of think, but hey, you know what, there's certain things that, you know, I must do now. I can't be like, you know, be buying flowers. I have to buy washing powder or something, you know, something to that effect. But I've always said to my friends that do what works for you, because what works for me might not necessarily will. But one thing I know is constant in each relationship is communication. Because if I can't be an animal where I'm going to smell that there's something wrong. Obviously, you pick up certain things as human, you know, as a human being, that man. Ingati umdwam is rather disengaged, or ingati their mind is on the other side of town, type of thing, you know. Maybe kwenzeke into emsebenzini, or there's deadlines, or there's something that, you know, happened or heard or whatever. So I think we also have to, I think communication is a centerpiece of all relationships. How you factor it in, or how you make your relationship work is up to the both of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Braxton, you mean the world to me. And after that, you got a bed.